Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone. I hope all of you are fine. So last time, what we have done that we have created activities for the construction works also in basement floor, and I have given you all of guys the exercise to create activities in the remaining floors. So I have completed my schedule. I have created the remaining activities, and some of the WBS which were not present previously, I have added them. For example, the external facade works and then the landscaping and hardscaping works. So I will show you which are the activities that I have added and which are the WBS that I have added. So here it is. You can see that all of the activities are completed for the construction. So I will show you for example, for the ground floor, shear walls, column, beam and slab, and then architectural works, flooring finishing, ceiling finishing, wall finishing, final finishing, electrical works, mechanical, plumbing and firefighting. So what are the new WBS that I have created? I will show you. So these are the new WBS: exterior facade finishing, plastering works externally, painting preparations, final coat, first coat of paint, final coat of paint, construction of parapet wall. Then landscaping and hardscaping, external area leveling and cleaning works, soil filling and leveling, grass and tree installation, hardscaping works. Then final MEP works by building. Some of the MEP works we have considered floor wise, because once we will complete one floor, then we will sequentially move to the other floors. But some of the works we cannot do by the floor. For example, the installation of the AHU. So AHUs will be installed at the rooftop, okay. And also some of the final terminations of MEP works and the power on. So all these works we will consider by building. So construction of overhead water tank, installation of water pumps, installation of sewage pump, AHU installation, MEP final connection and termination. Then final architectural finishing, installation of marble tiles on stairs, then installation of handrails, roof waterproofing and installation works. Then testing and commissioning electrical, testing and commissioning for electrical works, testing and commissioning for mechanical works, testing and commissioning for fire and gas works, closing out, demobilization and handing over. So these are the activities, and rest of all floors activities are completed. I hope that you must have copied all these activities from one floor and pasted it on the other floors. So next time also you can add these WBS and activities in your schedule. So today we are going to give the relationships and the durations, but before that I want to tell you how to calculate the duration for the activities. Activity duration is calculated from standard productivity of labor and activities quantities. So what is the productivity? The amount of work performed or executed per unit time. So for example, we have marble installation. So we need one one mason and one labor, and maybe we will consider that they will install 8 meter square marble per day. So if they are working 8 hour shift, so the man hours will be 16 man hours. So the 16 man hours, these two laborers, a crew of 2 people can install 8 meter square. So if we have a crew of 15 people and we have this area of 2500 meter square, then with a simple mathematical calculation we can calculate that how much time we need to finish this activity. So I have these standard productivity norms available with me from the different companies, and also from my own experience I have calculated some of the productivity norms myself. So here I have given us some screenshot of structural works, but later on I will send this productivity sheet to my all subscribers. So here you can see that Finishes work block masonry normal unit meter square. So crew description is 1 mason 1 labor. Productivity per day is 8. So 1 mason and 1 labor can install block work 8 meter square block work. Then block masonry reinforced. So obviously reinforced will take more time, so their productivity is less. Then internal plaster accessories and rush, plaster 10 mm, plaster 15 mm, mortar, rip work. So these are the common examples of the productivities. Then for the structural works, anti-termite treatment application, shutters for PCC. So 2 carpenters and 1 helper, they can install 12 meter square shutters. PCC footings and screed, 10 masons. So they can do 270 meter square screening. So these are the common examples. For example, RCC for columns and wall, 18 helpers and 6 masons can do 130 m3. So let us take example of our first activity and calculate its duration. So we have a column rebar activity. Consider its quantity is 5000 kg. So crew size is 1 steel fixer. Productivity is 180 kg per day. So required duration considering 1 steel fixer is 5000 divided by 180 is equal to 28 days approx. So obviously we are not going to put 1 steel fixer for that activity. Obviously we will put some 6 steel fixers or 12, 15 based on our requirement. Okay. And one thing you must keep in mind that we are bound some milestones to finish our works, because it does not, this durations is driven by time, not by the resource. So we have given contractually time, for example 1 year to finish that project. So whatever resources we need to finish that job, we need to put those resources. But it doesn't mean that, for example, we will put so many steel fixers for one job. So those are maybe the space requirement. Space is such like that it requires from us that we cannot put like 50 steel fixers. So we can only put 25 or 30. So based on that, we have to give a duration considering resource and time both. So this thing will come with experience. First, what we need to satisfy the milestone dates what we have in our schedule, and wherever durations are more, we need to reduce those durations. And when we will reduce the durations, obviously the resource we want to put more resources. So, for example, we have 6 steel fixers, so that job can be done in 5 days. 28 by 6 is equal to 5 days. So this is how we are going to calculate the durations. To calculate the durations, we must have the quantities available with us for all the activities, and we must have the productivity norms available with us. These productivity norms will vary from different area to area, from different country to country. But some of productivity norms we have a rule of thumb, so we can use to calculate the durations. So now we will see relationships for activities. So after the creation of activities and giving their durations, we need to start giving relationships between the activities. So this is the most important one. So let us consider these two activities. We have activity A and activity B. So activity A is installation of block work and activity B is rendering and plastering. So obviously once we will finish activity A and then we will start activity B. So this will be a finish to start relationship. So first we will install the block work, and after that we will start with the rendering and plastering work as per our construction sequence. So activity B will start after the activity A is finished. Activity A is the predecessor of activity B, and activity B is the successor of activity A. Sorry, here it should be B. So the previous activity is called the predecessor, and the activities which is going to come after activity A, that will be called as successor activities. So we have four types of relationships: finish to start FS, start to start SS, finish to finish FF, and start to finish SF. Now we will see each type of the relationship, examples for each type of relationship. So this is the FS relationship. Here you can see that we have activity A, installation of block work, and we have activity B, rendering and plastering. So activity B cannot start unless activity A is finished. So this relationship is called FS, finish to start. So the successor cannot start until the predecessor is finished. Then SS. For example, installation of block work is taking 7 days and rendering and plastering is taking 9 days. So we want to start the rendering and plastering after the 3-4 days of the block work has been started. For example here, so in this case, start to start plus 3 days. Start to start means activity, the predecessor is started, and after some time we will give some lag of 3 days. Lag means the number of days we want to delay that work. So we give the 3 days lag and connect it with the start to start. So the successor activity will start after the 3 days of activity A has been started. So this type of relationship is called as start to start. Then comes the relation for finish to finish. So if we want that activity B must finish after the 5 days of activity A is finished. Okay. For example, if activity A is finished on 10 April and we want activity B to finish on 15 April, so we will give relationship finish to finish plus 5 days. Then example for start to finish. So this is the very seldom we use this type of relationship. So I have never used in my schedules, because activity B in this type of relationship, activity B cannot finish unless activity A has been started. So the successor activity cannot finish unless its predecessor has been started. So this type of relationship is called as SF. Then what is lead and lag? To understand lead and lag, consider following example. Activity A, plaster works 5 days, activity B, painting works is equal to 4 days. So logically, relationship type between activity A and activity B should be FS. But we want curing time and drying time to be considered for plaster work before application of painting, so this can be achieved by introducing lag. After finish to start relationship in these activities like this. So scenario 1. We have activity A here, we have activity B here. Activity A is plaster works, it is taking 5 days, and activity B is painting works and it is taking 4 days. But we want a curing time to be considered between these two activities. So we have introduced finish to start plus 3 days lag, and then this activity B will start after the 3 days of finishing activity A. So this is called the lag. The delay time we insert between the activities, between the relationships. Now we have scenario 2, start to start plus 5 days. So activity A and activity B are connected with start to start and has been given a lag of 5 days. So activity B will start after the 5 days of activity A has been started. So this type of relationship is called start to start plus 5 days, start to start relationship. Then we have scenario 3, that is activity A and activity B are connected with finish to finish plus 5 days lag. So activity B will finish after finishing of activity A with 5 days. If we don't give here 5 days lag, so these both activities will finish at the same time. Sometimes instead of adding some delay, we give negative lag which brings successor activities start date earlier. This type of negative lag is called lead. If we give here negative lag, for example minus 5 days, so what will happen that activity B will finish 5 days earlier than activity A. So that is called lead. For example here, so this is an example of a lead. Finish to start minus 5 days. I have already told you that now activity B will finish 5 days earlier than activity A. So let's start giving the durations to our activities. So what we will do that milestones. So here what we will do that we need to change the activity type to milestone. This is a start milestone. So you need to go here and check this activity type box. So instead of task dependent, select start milestone, because these are milestones, start milestone. Similarly this activity, just click here and select start milestone. Now you see that they have only one date, the start date. Then go here and select finish milestone, and it will show only the finish date. So you need to change this activity types from here, from this dialog box. Then engineering design approvals, submittals. So for all submittals we will consider 2 weeks for the submittals and then 2 weeks for the approvals. Okay, so I will consider here 14. So you can, what you can do that if you want to give this all activities, all this duration at the same time, you can just click here, press the shift button from your keyboard and down arrow key from your keyboard and select all these, and right click here and just click fill down, so it will give the same duration. Then for the approvals we will give 1 week for the approval. Here you need to write 7, hold the shift key from your keyboard and also press this down arrow key. And right click and just click fill down. For the material approvals, for the long lead items, material approvals will take longer time. So we will give 3 weeks for the material submittals and 2 weeks for the material approvals. So here I will give 2 weeks for their approval. Fill down. So non lead items, we will do the same thing with them. So here I will give 7 days for 21 days. So these are non-long lead. So non-long lead will only take maybe 1 week. We will give them 1 week for the submittal and 1 week for the approval. Seven days. Fill down. Okay. Then part comes for the procurement, quotation and agreement. So this we need, I will give on based on my experience. So paints will not take more than 2 weeks. They are locally available. Epoxy also 2 weeks. And it will take some time, so we will give them 4 weeks. Cables and wire, okay, we will give them 3 weeks. Switches and sockets 2 weeks. Panel boards 3-4 weeks. So marble maybe we will give longer time, 56 days, ceramic tile also 56 days. Interior decoration finishes 56 days. Lighting also is a long lead, so it will take approximately 8 weeks. We'll give it 60 days. Batteries 60 days. Also this is a long lead item. Then here this generator set also will give them 75 days. Then UPS, AHU will take some longer duration, will give 70 days. UPS will give 48 days. FCU will give 70 days. Condensation unit 70 days. Sanitary ware and fixtures 48 days. Steel door, it is also a long lead item, will give 60 days. Car parking shed, it will take 90 days longer duration. Ducts and fittings 45 days. Installation of ducts 40 days. So condensation pipes will give 28 days. 28 days. Here also 28. Yeah. 1 week. 1 week. So PO issuance, that depends upon. So we'll give 2 weeks for the PO issuance for all of them. And we will give 1 week for the delivery to the site. Then part comes for the construction, mobilization. So this will be our first activity, mobilization. So I will give 3 weeks for the mobilization to establish site offices and setup. Then civil works, site survey and clearance, I will give here 1 week. Excavation works, I will give 2 weeks. Backfilling, I will give 5 days is enough. Compaction and testing, I will give 6 days. Then foundation works, lean concreting, I will give 1 day. We can do it 1 day. Curing, we need 7 days curing. Then waterproofing 2 days, rebar 7 days, fixing of shutters for example 8 days, inspection it will take 1 day, pouring and curing. Pouring will take 1 day and curing will take 7 days. So total I will give 8 days. So now I will show you how to give relationships. So before giving relationships for engineering, procurement and design approvals, what we will do that we will start with the construction works, because if you want your basement floor to be costed on 12 February, so you need to get this design approval before that date, before 2-3 days. So it means that this design approvals will be driven by the construction activities. So first we need to maintain our construction sequence logic for the construction, and then we will maintain this, then we will give relationships to the design and engineering and procurement. So the first activity will be start date of the project, that is the NDP, 1st May. So to give relationships, here you have 2 tabs. You have a tab relationships here. So if that tab is not open in your program, so just you can right click in this area here, customize activity details, and from here you can select. For example, if I will double select it, double click it, then it will be removed from this tab. So if I again double click, then it will be added here again. So apply and so you can get this relationship tab here. So you have here two types of relationships, two types of activities, predecessor and successor. Two types are here. So from this you can give the relationship. So first one is the construction, site mobilization and establish temporary facilities. So its predecessor will be start date of the project. So each activity should have at least one predecessor and one successor. An activity should not be open-ended. An open-ended activity means the activity which doesn't have any successor or doesn't have any predecessor. Only one activity which will only one activity, that is the start of the date of the project, it will not have any predecessor, and this final activity is the finish date of the project, so it will not have any successor. Apart from these two activities, each activity must have successor and predecessor. So to give relationship, you need to go here, assign, click it, and then you can select from this list here. So you need to go on top and double click it, start date of the project. So you now see that, and then press this button, schedule, so you can see also here this is 2020 a time. So you can see here this is the time scale and your activities are shown here on this time scale. So this is called the Gantt chart, where your activities are shown with the relationships. So site survey and site clearance. So site mobilization and establish temporary facilities. After this we will start site survey and site clearance. So you need to go here in the successor tab and click it, and you can double click this site survey and site clearance and press F9 from your keyboard, or you can just go here and click this one. Now you see that. Also you can open the relationship lines from here. Just go here and click this relationship lines. Now you see that this activity has been this relationship is given here as a finish to start. Then after site survey and site clearance, we'll start the excavation works. So here when you give the relationship, you can see here that you can select the type of relationship from this drop down list, finish to finish, FS, SF, SF. So we want here FS, finish to start. Then if you want to give some lag, you can give here. That I have told you already about what is the lag. So site survey and site clearance. After this you want to start this excavation works. So excavation works, and double click here, and so again this excavation works will be started after your site survey and site clearance. Then backfilling, you want to start, you want to give here finish to finish with 3 days. So you give here some lag and schedule it. Now you see that this backfilling and backfilling with the selected soil will finish after the 3 days this excavation works has been finished. Okay, so its relationship is finish to finish with the 3 days. So when you are giving relation with finish to finish, always give the relation with SS also with the start to start, because when you will start the updating the activities, when this activity has been finished, excavation works has been finished, so this activities will be open-ended. It will behave like an open-ended. So whenever you connect any activities with the FF relationship, you must connect it with the SS relationship also. So we will connect it with SS plus. So if you see here, so excavation is starting on 10 June and backfilling on 26 June. So we can give here star to star relationship with the so this backfilling with the excavation work. So we can give here relationship again with the star to star plus 16 days. So in P6 you can give you can connect two activities with the same relationship with the different relationships. You can connect one activity with this with same predecessor with the different relationships. Like I have connected here this backfilling with the selected soil. I have connected with the excavation works two times, one with the finish to finish plus 3 days and then one with the start to start plus 16 days. Then compaction and soil testing. So this compaction and soil testing that will be done after the backfilling with the finish to start. So our relationship has been established here for the civil works. So after the civil works, foundation works will start. So similarly you can give this relationship here. I will keep this thing for you guys just to you can with the same way that I have given here relationships based on the logic. I hope that you must have that knowledge. You can just give relationships here. So now I will tell you how to connect this engineering. So here you see that submittal of design for columns, submittal of design for beams. So, okay, let's first what we need to do that. First we need to give here we need to complete at least one floor. So compaction and soil testing, after that you can connect with the lean concreting and press here. So lean concreting, after curing, waterproofing, rebars for raft foundation, fixing of shutter, inspection, concrete pouring and curing. So what you can do that you can select all these activities, this and just click here link activities. So all these activities will be linked here and then you can press. This is another quick method just to link this is called the mesh linking. So now these all activities are connected with the finish to start relationship. So first you can connect all these activities like this, and then later on you can change their relationships. For example, here after curing you will start waterproofing, then rebar for raft foundation. Okay, fixing of shutters. So here I will connect it with the start to start. So we want that once we have started rebar from one side, okay, and we are going on the other side, so after 3-4 days we can start the shutters also. So fixing of shutter I can start here with the start to start plus 3 days. Okay, so now you see that this fixing of shutter activity is connected with rebar for foundation with the start plus 3 days. So then after concrete pouring and curing we will start the shear walls and columns. So shear wall and column we can start at the same time. So I will connect this one, link activities. So here shear walls, so rebar for shear was okay. Rebar will take maybe 6 days, so shutters will take more time, 8 days. So inspection will take only 1 day. Concrete pouring and curing will take 8 days. That I have told you that concrete pouring takes only 1 day, but then curing will take 7 days. So now we can fix it, this one here. So shutters for fixing for shear walls we can start with start to start plus 4 days. And then okay, let it be like this. Then this rebar for column. So this one and these activities we can start at the same time. So now you see here rebar fixing for columns. So rebar fixing for columns, it is starting on 28 August, and rebar fixing for shear walls, it is also starting on 28 August. So we can start at this columns and the shear wall at the same time. So I will give here some duration. So here I am giving durations randomly, but you need to give based on the productivity and based on the quantities. I have already spoke about this. Inspection will take only 1 day, then concrete pouring and curing, okay, 28 days. So here you need to connect with the start to start plus 3 days. So now I tell you how to connect. For example, our structural part is complete for the basement floor up to columns and shear walls. So beam and slabs we haven't connected. So okay, let's connect also this beam and slab also. Link activities. So this activity we will link it here. Similarly, we will link it here. Then we will go here, schedule it, give here shutters 8 days, rebar fixing 12 days, inspection 2 days, concrete pouring gives 8 days. This one we can give here finish to finish, start to start here with the 5 days. So up to this part our structural work is complete for the basement floor. So as you see here, when we are going to fix the rebar for columns on 28 August. So before 28 August the drawing should be approved. So we go to design submitter of design for the columns. Okay. So we will start submitting after some time. For example, here we will connect with the start date of project. I will give here some lag, because once mobilization has been done, then we will start submitting some of the when the site office setup is complete, then we will start submitting these designs. So submittal of design should start on 1st of June. Then this submittal should be connected with the approval. So you can go to the approval of design for column. You connect with FS. Okay. Then you can click this button go to, and it will go to this activity, approval of design for columns. So approval of design for columns, we need to connect with the construction activity, that is rebar for columns. So you will go to construction work here, so you can just collapse it here, go to construction work, go to basement floor, structural works, columns, and select here rebar fixing columns and schedule it. So hence you need to, if for example your flooring is starting on December, so your design should be submitted before the at least 2 months before the December, so that it can you can get the approval from the client. Similarly, the material submittals and material approvals. So we'll check one example for the material submittal. So okay, this is the marble. So let's start. Marble will submit after here, for example, after 7 weeks. So then you need to connect with the approval. Go to approval, and then you need to connect with this procurement, material approval with the procurement. Where is the procurement? Marble. Then here with the PO issuance, then here with the delivery to the site. Then delivery to the site, you need to connect with the construction activity. So in the first floor, so this is the ground floor, architectural works, marble fixing, connected here. Schedule it. So this is how you are going to connect your material submittal. Material submittal should be connected to the approval. Approval should be connected to the procurement, PO issuance, then this quotation and agreement. Then the quotation and agreement should be connected with the PO issuance. Then PO issuance to the delivery to the site, and delivery to the site to the construction activity. So just so today's lecture, I have told you how to give the relationship to the activities and what are the types of the relationships. So you can practice it and start giving these relationships. And if you have any difficulty, you can just ask from me in the comment section. And in the next video, we will see how to set up the calendars for the activities, because these all activities durations are and dates are driven by the calendars. So we will see some calendars and these types of this. So what does this task dependent and finish milestone and level of effort activity means? So activity type, then the duration type, then percent complete type. So all these things we'll discuss in the next lecture. So thank you very much.